Yo, G, you went to work today?
Yep, I had to. Every week, Monday through Friday, you already know.
Oh,
just another day.
You got weekends off, right?
Yeah.
You got a maid.
Yeah.
You got a maid over there. Nah, man. You know how it is at Sprint. Every week is different. The store closes at 8, so the latest I'll get out of there is like 9:30 for real.
How is it working for them so far? You like it?
Yeah. It's cool. You get a base pay, you get commission. So the cool part is the fact that you get commission based off whatever that customer buys. But the sucky part is the fact that every week your schedule is different, and like it's kind of it's a lot of. I mean, it's only pressure if you think of it as pressure. It's kind of like a game because you're a salesman, and you need those sales. So, if you're a kind of person that that don't care about selling stuff to people, and if you're not a people person, then Sprint's not the job for you.
So you a people person?
Yeah, I'm definitely a people person, man. The only thing that I'm still working on is learning how to navigate on the computer systems. Once I get that down packed, yeah, it's off to the races.
I see, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah, I fucking did some DoorDash in a day. Usually on Wednesdays, I don't really I might do it for like an hour, but today I did it a little longer because of the circumstances. So yeah, today they got some DoorDashing in, and then afterwards, I'm going to the gas station up the street. Or I was trying to go to the gas station up the street in the car, and there was a fucking wreck. So I just went in parked in my apartment complex and just walked to the gas station. And then the cashier was telling me because I asked her, like, did you see the wreck? And she said yes. I'm imagining that she looked at it on the cameras and shit, because at the gas station had cameras.
Yeah.
So she was saying how she told me about how it happened. It ain't gonna make sense for me to explain the street, because niggas ain't gonna be able to. Ain't there to see it, but the crazy part is she was saying like they both got their cars like this week, like, so their cars is like brand new.
Wow.
And they both wrecked it like within the same week. Like, it was crazy.
Yo, God playing games on them.
Yeah, that was wild. I was like, damn.
How long was the walk over there to the gas station?
It was it's only like depending on how bad the traffic is, probably like a 2-3 minute walk.
Oh, okay, that's not bad at all. I'm thinking you walked for like 10 minutes.
Nah, it's like just like literally across the street. As soon as you cross the street, then it's like maybe 200 meters. And it's like right there.
Yo, every time people say feet or meters, like, I'm not going to be able to tell how long that's far away. Like, I can't even.
I mean, 200 meters. I mean, come on, you ran track. You ran that distance in like 30 seconds. So you should be able to gauge how far away 200 meters is. Like, it's like, come on, dude.
I probably run that in 30 seconds now.
Like, come on, like sports, like I'm putting in sports terms, like meters and yards. Like you should be able to gauge roughly how much that is. Now, when you get into miles and shit, like, I can understand that, but come on,
bro,
like 200 meters, like, you can gauge that. That's half a track, bro.
But
that's
yeah,
half a track.
But if somebody tell me, yeah, it was 400 feet away, I'm not gonna, like, I don't even know what that is, bro. I can't gauge it.
Feet, that's different though. Nobody in the sports world is measuring feet like with that distance. Like, 400 yards, okay, 4 football fields. 400 meters, okay, that's about a track. That's a straightaway track. So, you kind of take away the curves and make them straight. You kind of guesstimate about how much that is. Now you talking 300 feet, 5,000 feet. All right, so that's a whole another ball game. You know what I'm saying? So,
yo, would you ever try the triathlon?
I considered it, but the only thing is I'm not a very good swimmer.
Damn.
I'm good enough to get from one side of the pool to the other, but like swimming the distance they gotta swim, yeah, they ain't for me, bro.
Yo, it would be cool if they had like teams, like one person rides the bike, one person runs, and the other person swims, like a relay.
Yeah, that would be lit.
Yo, that would be crazy lit.
Yeah. They I heard that. I think I read an article or some shit. They were saying like how it was like a group of friends that came up with the triathlon, and they were saying like they always had the base. Who was the most athletic? Was it a swimmer? Was it a runner? Was it the cyclist? Like who had the most athleticism? Who was the most fittest? So then they just combined all three events, and then that's how they came up with the triathlon.
Word.
I forgot where I read that shit from, but I read that shit like months ago. I was like, damn, that's how that do sound like some shit that you just create like amongst your group of friends, and then that shit just get popping.
Nah, bro, you know what shit sounds like you can just create amongst friends, bro? The steeplechasing track, bro.
A steeplechase? I mean,
that is like somebody was just sitting there like, wait, what if I just put a freaking board right there with water? Like, what?
Yeah, that's like the weirdest. Yeah, that is the weirdest like event in track and field. The steeplechase. I never understood why anybody would want to run that. It's just one of those things. Like if you're not good enough to be in the distance run, like you just kind of gravitate towards the steeplechase because that's like a kind of a bullshit event. And
nah, I don't think it's like that. I think it's people who like a little challenge. Like they're not only doing distance, but they're also trying to get over like a board, and you know how it's different when you run a mile on flat land and you run a mile on the mountain. It's an added challenge to them.
Take it from somebody who did track. You running a mile, trying to run a 4-minute mile or a 5-minute mile. That's a challenge in itself.
Of course.
So it's like I get it. Like if you would have a point if it was somebody who was just doing it recreationally. They just wanted to kind of spice things up. But if you a competitor in whatever event you choose or whatever sport you do, like you're gonna go balls to the wall for it. And that going that speed, 5 minutes, 4 minutes in a mile is not easy fucking task. So I think it for a lot of them, I think it gets to a point where that okay, this distance, I'm probably not going to be able to compete for my country or compete for my school in this event. So let me try something that a lot of competition is not a part of, and let me try to see what I can do in this. I think that's where it is with steeplechase.
I feel that. I mean, it still does take endurance.
No, it does. No, I'm not taking anything away from how hard it is. It's still a hard race competing. There is great athletes in it. I'm saying those athletes is not comparing to the ones who win, the 1500 meter or the 3000 meter. You know what I'm saying, in the Olympics. Yeah. I'm saying as far as like if they wanted to win a Olympic gold medal, they're going. If they know that they're not placing in the top 10 in the world in those like the traditional races, then they're just going to go to the steeplechase and be like, okay, let me see, and then oftentimes if they place in top 5, top 3, they're like, okay, this is let me see what I can do in this. I think that's what happens for the most part, especially like at the top level. I can't really speak for, if they're at the high school level, college level, but And then even then, like they're competing for points for the high school or college too. So
Right.
A lot of the time, the coaches will just put them in those events just so they can get some points for their team to win. So whether it's the coach decision or the athlete's decision, ultimately, it's just to figure out where they stand in the pecking order as far as events, talent, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So,
did your high school compete in the steeplechase?
I don't think we did. We didn't, not in high school. I don't think we did steeplechase. I don't think we did in college either.
Word.
That was just I can't remember because that was a while ago. But it's just a weird event. I just don't even I don't think we had. No, I don't think we had anybody to compete in that shit. I think it was just one of those events where it was just kind of like at special meets where you just compete.
So
like that.
Your coach
at an HBCU, you ain't really worried about distance like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially a steeplechase. We didn't have no pole vaulter. We didn't have a steeplechaser. What else? That's really the two oddball events in track and field.
Yo, son, that's why your coach told you just get out, bro. Just get out.
Yeah, just go. We leave. But see, I was doing the 400. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, niggas had I was injured, and he still forced me to do these fucking events. Like, dude, I'm just gonna if I ain't feeling up to par, I'm gonna stop mid race. Like, that's just what it is. And hey, I didn't give a fuck who thought what. And I just did it, and it is what it is. You think whatever, but that's the problem with a lot of these coaches. Is like they so stuck in their traditional mindset. Like, they gotta get up. They gotta get up with the times, man. They gotta get up with the technology. Like, it ain't. You can't just throw dirt on wounds and shit and think shit gonna be okay. Like, you gotta get up with the times. Like, it ain't the same, bro.
Yeah, man. He old school, right? He all about that Epsom salt, any wound, man.
Yeah, I remember my fucking high school coach, and this nigga talking about some pickle juice for cramps and shit.
Yo, what?
I'm like, nigga, that was his only answer for everything. Yeah, you need to drink more pickle juice. I'm like, nigga, that's not. I finally confronted this dude at the the last season. I had enough of it. I'm like, dude, pickle juice don't fucking work. I done tried pickle juice. I'm still getting hamstring injuries, bro. This shit don't fucking work. And he's just like,
yo, I ain't never heard of some pickle juice.
You will always kill that shit. And to this day, I still see him at AAU meets when my brother be having those little competitions and shit. At the AAU meets, I just walk right. I just try to avoid them as much as possible because it's just like I don't be one to just converse. I don't know if that's weird or not, but I'm just one of those. I ain't got no beef with them anymore. It's just I don't want to converse with them.
You one of them. You one of them weirdos, man.
I guess I'm a weirdo. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm at if I was at a point in my life where I could flex, you know what I'm saying? Be like, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's like, okay, cool, but it's like I'm trying to make shit happen. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I am just a weirdo. In that sense.
Wait, so did you guys not have a good relationship, or was it just a regular?
No, it was cool.
Oh, okay.
It was cool. It was a point he had these. You remember how the fucking Skechers, the ones with the fucking Healy, the shits at the bottom where it was kind of like a rocker. Yeah. It was he had them joints, but them shits was wore out. And I remember I forgot my spikes, whatever, or running shoes for the practice. This dude lent me his old ass Skechers.
Oh man!
And I had to run in that shit. And it had the fucking rockers on. I'm sitting here run my legs was done, bro. But yeah. But anyways,
yeah. Let's get this shit started, bro. Niggas is rambling off, man. So this is Kai Smoove. I'm here with Petty G. You guys are listening to the Burg Bros Podcast.
Creams, potatoes, tomatoes, beans, creams, potatoes, tomatoes, beans, creams, beans, creams, beans, 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 creams, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkey, beans, beans, creams, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkey. You name it. You name it. You name it. You name it.
Yo, G, I want to start this one off, dog.
All right.
So I want to start this one off with a little memory, because I was just sitting there one day, and I was like, I think it was on a Facebook feed. I don't never be on Facebook, but when I was on a Facebook feed, I seen like what's his name? That white boy, yeah, Mike Alstott, the fullback on the Buccaneers. You remember him?
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Son, I'm looking at his highlights, and I'm like, this guy was a problem, man. And this made me think that the league has evolved. Like, there's no longer fullback stars. You remember when it was fullback stars?
Well, yeah, because my beloved Panthers, Brad Hoover,
Yeah.
he was a problem. Brad Hoover, motherfucking who else? Lorenzo Neal for the Chargers.
Yeah, Tony Richardson for the Chiefs.
Yeah, man. Shit. I mean, I think Jerome Bettis was when he started out his career, he was a fullback, and then he switched to running back.
Yeah, he started out as fullback, then he switched to running back because it was like, yo, this guy could be in the backfield.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro.
Yeah,
like I can actually, like, back in the days when I used to play Madden, I can name like fullback stars that were like high overalls, 95, 92.
Yeah.
And they were a huge part of the offense. Like, there would be actual plays designated for fullbacks. But these days, a fullback is just, rare.
Yeah. Undrafted, just some undrafted dude from motherfucking Appalachian somewhere. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also a long snapper. Like, he don't know where he fit in. And,
yeah. Just that weirdo guy. That dude, you don't get in there in the locker room. You just kind of distance a little bit because he be on that weird shit sometimes.
yeah, his locker's over there in the corner. He just by his lonely, and
he stripped down butt naked just to take a piss. Yeah,
just to take a piss on the urinal, man. Niggas is in there like, what are you doing?
What are you doing, dude? He smacked niggas on the butt and you ain't even on the field. Like,
he ain't even on the field. He on the sideline. Just,
we ain't class. He just smacking niggas on the butt and shit.
Yo, he a coach's pet. Like, knowing what he just, the long snappers, man. They don't get no love, man. They don't get no love.
You know what's crazy? Like, they not, unless they done inserted long snapper, like legit long snappers in Madden now. I know they used to never put like legit long snappers in Madden back in the day. So I don't know if it's different now, but back in the day they just had like whoever the starting center was, that was a long snapper. But now I don't know if it's different or not, but yeah, they got no love in Madden and just period.
Yo, they couldn't even make them a creative player for Madden, man.
But they look weird though. Like, long snappers, like, they got like long arms. It's like they got like a big torso, like long skinny arms, and they don't wear nothing. Like, they don't wear no accessories or nothing. They just no gloves, no wristband, or nothing. They just look weird.
Yeah, they just look weird, bro, and they want to look weird like that, dog. Like, they just basic. Like, you think kickers are basic? Them niggas is basic.
How did we get on this? We was talking about fullbacks, right?
Yeah, fullbacks to long snappers, man.
Yeah. With the more passing and the increase of passing and increase of penalties as far as defense is concerned, I think that kind of did away with that. The running game and the running attack and like the ground and pound, like that type shit. It became more of a air it out type league, There was only like a few teams that was really passing it heavy back in the day, and just like now, it seems like everybody want to be passing heavy.
Yeah, I think Dan Marino started that trend, man.
Yeah, Dan Marino, Doug Flutie, not Doug Flutie. Who was the dude with the Chargers? Motherfucking, goddamn.
He had a beard.
The old school. Yeah, the old school nigga.
Yeah.
It wasn't Doug Flutie. It was I can't remember. He was the Hall of Fame tight end too.
I forgot his name. Man. Yeah, he had a beard. He was a white guy with a beard. I forgot his name.
yeah. Oh, was it Fouts? Hold on.
Fouts.
Let me try to look.
Nah, maybe.
It might be.
And he had those receivers too. So.
Yeah, damn man.
Like that's like a vivid memory. Like
Dan Fouts. Yeah, Dan Fouts.
Yeah, Dan Fouts. It's like a vivid memory because they were nice, but they didn't really win big like that.
Yeah, that's the conversation now about a lot like the NBA greats right now, like the Westbrooks of the world, James Harden. Yeah, it's like, you know, like a lot of like there was because I think it was Colin Cowherd. I think it was either him. Somebody was making a point like how outside of Charles Barkley, only because he's on TV now and he's like such a lovable personality, the greats are often forgotten. Like the Karl Malones and John Stocktons, and because they ain't win shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, and then that brings me, which honestly kind of brings me to the playoffs. What's going on right now? You watched the game last night?
I seen the highlights.
Yeah, I seen some of it, and then I had to watch the highlights too. You know, niggas got to work and shit. But yeah, I don't think the Greek Freak. I don't think he got it like that.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
I'm
gonna stop you right there. Now, you remember when I said Zion would be the next face of the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think before Zion becomes the face, is going to be the Greek Freak, bro. And yes, you say you don't think he got it, bro, but what is he, 24, 25 maybe? Let me see.
He's like 24. But it's my thing is he don't have, and this is the reason why I say he don't got it. It's not because he only scored 12 points in that. I don't think it was the last game. It was the game before that.
Game 3. Yeah.
Yeah, game 3. And then the last game, I mean, he had, close to 30 or 30 points. But, I mean, they still lost. But game 3, it was telling to me that he didn't have it because it was the game that they went into, like
double
2
overtime.
overtimes? Yeah. And I think it was either it was going into overtime. It was the fourth quarter. And he was about to drive it. This was in overtime because he had five fouls at this point. So he was 1 foul away from fouling out. And he, instead of him driving to the basket and potentially, drawing the foul, because he struggles at the free throw line too. So instead of him driving through the basket and drawing the foul, he kicked it out to not Middleton, not Bledsoe, but he kicked it out to a player nobody knows. I can't even remember the nigga name. That's how irrelevant the nigga was. Kicked out to him, and he scored the game. I think it was the game tying point at that time. So instead of him drawing the contact and being the guy and putting all that pressure on himself, he just kicked it out.
See, this is the same argument niggas use for LeBron, man.
Nah, LeBron is different. No, good. I'm gonna tell you why this is different from those niggas that say that about LeBron. This situation, it was both like a questionable, like it was both in the same range of a good shot or not. If Greek Freak, Giannis, whatever you want to call him, if he drives and creates a foul and potentially get the and one, you know what I'm saying? He either ties the game or win the game. And but when he passed it, the dude did a floater from about a couple feet, just distance away from where Giannis was. So it wasn't necessarily a higher percentage shot. It was just he just kind of just tossed it up to somebody because he didn't. I don't know what it was. I don't know what his issue was, but it just seemed like he didn't want to take that last minute shot.
But look.
That's what it looked like.
But it's like that's one play. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one play.
But that's a clutch play. That's a clutch. It's telling. It's telling. You know those stories about how Jordan, like the stories that you hear about Jordan. Like we didn't grow up in the era, but you hear about what Jordan or even Kobe, like what them niggas' mentality was, how they wanted to smoke, they wanted to those last minute, they wanted that moment. You know what I'm saying? Jordan ain't doing that shit. Even LeBron, if he in that position, he's going to draw the contact. If he was to pass it out, it would be a higher, in his mind, a higher percentage shot. But Giannis, he passed it to somebody who was equally just as much as a percentage as he was in that moment. And the dude just took the shot and made it.
I mean, what?
That's my thing.
So what is your stance? Are you saying that he is shying away from that moment, or are you saying
I don't think he's a clutch player. I don't think he's a clutch player.
Okay.
I think he's a great player when it comes to regular games, regular stats, whatever. You know what I'm saying? When the moment is not hot. But when it comes to those high pressure moments, I don't think he got what it takes.
That's false. Yeah, okay. So there's two things, man. The first thing, he is 24, and the second thing, this is his first conference finals. Kawhi been there before, so Kawhi knows what to do. He's nervous. He's trying to win, and the second thing would be the fact that the second thing would be clutch means to me personally, clutch means either taking the last shot or making the right play. It doesn't necessarily have to mean you're only clutch if you take the last shot. Because clutch, that's what people fail to realize with LeBron. Like, LeBron, sometimes down the stretch, he's going to make the right play, and then people hound on him for him not making the last shot. Because everybody in the whole world knows that LeBron is the best player on the court, and if it's the seconds running down, everybody's going to crowd towards him. So if LeBron shoots it out to somebody, then he made the right play, and that's a clutch play, regardless if they miss it or not. I just think Giannis is young, and he's going to learn in the way that LeBron learned, and he will be a seasoned player once he gets more experience under his belt.
But that wasn't a higher percentage play, is what I'm saying. When he passed it to the guy,
man, I gotta see the play.
Yeah, you gotta see the play. Look at the highlights of Game 3, and because I seen that a lot in like while it was happening, live action. That's what made me I was like, come on, dude. I'm looking at it. It's like dude wasn't open. Dude wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like it didn't seem like a floater. Come on now, a floater. A floater is not necessarily a high percentage shot to begin with, and he wasn't open. Like he had to do all over him. And he made it. He just got lucky. Was
it like a guard that he passed it to?
Yeah, it was a guard. It was he probably like a shooting guard. Yeah, he just passed it. It was like the final minutes, final second.
And you said this was the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah, Game 3.
Game 3, fourth quarter. All right, so yeah, I'm looking up that right now. So I'm just letting that shit run. But yeah, other than that though, I must say that, man, I already knew Kawhi was a great player, but he's solidified, bro.
I think that's why I say he my favorite player. But I think these two teams, I think they are kind of battling for second place in the finals.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see them beating Golden State. Golden State has came back from 17 plus in 3 straight games.
Yeah.
Like without Green, it was without
Durant.
Iguodala and Durant. They had Green. Green went off. Green showed his tail that final game, that fourth game, put the dagger in him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Green went the fuck off.
Yeah, see, like the thing with Draymond Green, people felt like he was falling off. I always knew that he was straight, bro. It was just a lot of players on the team, and he needed to find his spot, man.
Yeah, I just think a lot of the players within. I think a lot of players just don't like him, and a lot of people don't like him because of his personality more so.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when all is said and done, he'll get his props. You know what I'm saying? But I think right now, because he's like the loudmouth, the enemy, like the aggressor, that a lot of people try to dismiss what he has contributed to the Warriors since their, during their 5-year championship run. You know what I'm saying? That just speaks for itself. 5 straight Western Conference, championships is just remarkable.
Yeah,
3 straight finals.
Save that thought though. I'm looking at the highlights, G, and it didn't go down as you explained, man.
Yeah, explain it. Maybe I fucked up. Explain it.
So it was 96-94 Toronto, right? And there was like 3 seconds on the clock. And it was an inbound. So the Bucks had the rock, and they inbound the ball to Chris Middleton. No. It wasn't 3 seconds. It wasn't 3 seconds. It was 7 seconds on the clock.
I know Giannis, he was driving. I'm talking about that play. Whatever play that Giannis was driving and then he passed it. That's the play I'm talking about.
All right, so that's probably an overtime play.
Yeah, that's probably overtime. Cause I know it had to be one of them. It had to be the fourth quarter of overtime. But they had an opportunity to win. Well, no, it was pretty much one of those closing seconds type deals where they had to tie it up or some shit, and Giannis had the ball, he was driving it, and then he passed it. And that, because if he was still playing in the overtime, which I think he was, I think he fouled out before the second OT. But at that point, like everybody, there was like a lot of players that had like 5 fouls and shit, and he was one of them. And then he fouled out eventually, but I think that probably was the first OT.
Nah, not the first OT. So I'm checking the second one right now.
Okay. Yeah, one of them damn plays. He fouled out shortly. He fouled out shortly after.
But yeah, bro.
I got my take. And I got my take on damn Zion too.
All right, we'll get to that real soon. So,
all right.
So I just want to ask one question.
What up?
If you starting a team and you had to choose between Kawhi Leonard and Giannis, who you choosing?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that?
I just like I said, seeing that documentary last week, seeing how driven he really is. Like that's a player, like the mentality. That's the player I want to build around. I don't know Giannis. I don't know his mentality. I know he kind of beefed up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Got his arms a little swoller, pause. But, I just seeing the documentary showed me Kawhi's mentality and how much he wants it. You know what I'm saying? That hunger. Like I don't like I said, in that play that I'm talking about, that that play, I just didn't see it.
Tell Shar I said what's up.
Yeah. So in that play I didn't. So in that play I just didn't see it. I just didn't. But I see it with Kawhi though.
Yeah,
I see that.
Kawhi is more of a clutch player. He's more of a overall he's pretty much more seasoned than Giannis at this point. There's certain abilities that Giannis has that is over Kawhi, but as an overall, Kawhi does beat Giannis right now. He's all around better. He can defend everybody. He can shoot three. He can shoot the mid range. He can drive. Yeah, he can do it all pretty much.
Do you see the play yet?
So yeah, the play is just not there, man.
You didn't see the play?
It's just not there, man. You probably talk about game 4.
Nah, it had to be game 3.
Yeah, I'm not seeing
You
it.
didn't see the play? Yeah, it may have been. Game 4 was last night. They tied it up, so it was game 3.
Yeah, man. I mean, you can check it up yourself, but I'm not seeing it.
But anyways, it could have been game 2 as well. Could have been game 2. I can't remember. I know one of them he passed it up. But was game 2 close to? Was that a close game?
I think game 2 was close.
Let me see. It had to be one of them. I remember that vividly. I was just like, man, that does it for me. That determined that.
Yo, bro, he's still like a top tier player in the league.
I'm not saying not a top tier player, but when it comes to clutchness, that's a whole nother conversation.
What does clutch mean to you?
Clutch means you stand up in those moments. Even if you miss or make it, you stand up. That's your mentality.
So you have to take that last shot.
Now you don't have to, but if you're gonna pass it, make sure it's a high percentage shot. Cause you can't just pass it up to a player who's as equally as covered as you. And take a very low percentage shot is on top of it. Dude, like I said, just so happened to make it. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm not just making this shit up. I know it had to be one of these damn.
Oh wait, so you saying he made the floater?
No, the dude he passed it to made the floater. Yeah.
Oh, so what's wrong with that?
It wasn't a high percentage shot.
Bro, it was. Okay, so that was the play. All right, so I think
just because you make it, don't make it a high percentage shot.
So yeah, I did see that play.
So what did you think about it? When did that happen?
Okay, let me just backtrack here. Nah. All right, so it wasn't the fourth quarter. Let me check overtime 1. Yeah, bro. It was in overtime, like the first overtime.
Yeah. Was that early in that overtime?
And bro, it was a good play. It was a good play.
No, it wasn't. What?
Bro,
that was a high percentage shot? Was that a high percentage shot?
Bro, if you go back and look at that play, it was a good play.
When I was looking at it in real time, I'm seeing Giannis. I'm seeing him driving. He's within range to draw a foul and get the layup.
Nah.
But then instead he passes it and the dude just do a floater.
Bro,
now,
there's zero wrong with that play, son.
Maybe I gotta look at the play. Like I said, I looked at it in real time. That play looked a little scary on his part, bro. Like it looked like he was Like he was scared at the moment.
And it was Malcolm Brogdon who he passed it to, which is a good player. He can shoot. He comes off the bench. He's basically their sixth man. He does it all.
Oh, Michael Brogdon?
Yeah, Malcolm Brogdon.
Malcolm. I don't watch a lot of Buck games, but I just seen that shit. I was just like, man. Yeah, they were talking about this dude. Yeah, I mean, I guess he was playing pretty good. But still, a floater, that's not a high percentage shot to me.
Yo, these players practice floaters every day, son.
How you know that?
Because I've been in the Bucks facility, all right?
You don't even know where Milwaukee is. Talking about you been in their facility.
Yo, these floaters is a given to these. Like basketball, they're playing it every day. Like a floater for us is going to be a little difficult because we don't do it every day. But these players literally do everything every day.
Okay, so then why don't Ben Simmons have a jump shot?
Because he's not doing it. He's not shooting every day.
Okay. I think part of it is I think that has something to do with genetics too, though. I think shooting have something to do with genetics. Because there's no way Shaquille O'Neal go through his whole career and not be able to hit a free throw.
Nah, because it's like, I mean, it's a small part that has to deal with genetics, but for the most part, it's all about your mindset.
So I remember there was a time where they said Shaquille was actually working on his free throws, and he still was breaking free throws in the games.
Yeah.
There was a point in time where he was like strenuously working on his free throws, and he still was breaking.
Because you can,
it's got to be more than just practice.
You can work on something, but if the confidence ain't there, it's not going to happen.
I mean, but Shaquille O'Neal is like one of the most confident people you gonna.
Not in his free throws.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It got to be something else, bro. It got to be more than just confidence and skill.
Nah, that's all it is. It's confidence and skill. That's it.
I think genetics got to be a role in that.
Nah.
All right, we can agree to disagree on that one.
Because, like, if genetics was the thing, then that would have to mean that LeBron's sons or Kobe's daughter or Michael Jordan's sons would have the same field goal percentage as he did. Or they did.
What you mean?
If free throws was genetic, right?
Well, I'm not saying that specifically. I'm saying the ability to shoot and overall, like whether it's free throws, whether it's 3-pointers, whether it's mid range, or even layups. Like, I think that there is some kind of genetic something in regards to that. Like I don't think it's just you get in the gym and just practice it, or you have or whatever the case is, or confidence. I think it's more than that. I think it has something to do with genetics. I don't have no kind of scientific backing on this, but I think it has something to do with genetics.
Yo, I mean, look at Kawhi Leonard. You said his father played football, right?
Yeah.
Now his father probably cannot shoot free throws like he can, right?
No, his father also played basketball as well.
Okay. Let's go ahead.
But he preferred football.
Facts. So let's just use me as an example. Me and my little brother Khalil played football. My parents and my grandparents, cousins, aunts, uncles, they haven't even touched the football field. But we're playing football and we played at a high level. We started. We got awards, trophies. So genetics had nothing to do with that.
No, I'm not saying that genetics is the whole story. I'm saying obviously you have to develop a skill, and obviously you have to have a certain level of confidence. Yes, but I think that just like your genetics, just in general, as far as your looks, your height, everything, it varies. So I think genetics influence on certain things like playing basketball or running or intelligence or whatever. I think that varies. So for Shaq, it may be genetics or whatever may influence his shooting ability to not be as good as a Kobe. But Kobe, maybe his genetics had little to do with his shooting ability, but it was just all his practice and determination and his confidence. So I think it just varies. It's not just a flat line thing like genetics is this. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that you can really measure. It's just one of those things where it's like, it is what it is. You get what you get. You know what I'm saying?
I feel what you're saying.
So I don't think it's a. I mean, that's just my take on it. Like I said, I'm not no fucking scientist or I ain't do no kind of studies or nothing on it. It's just just something to provoke some thought or something. You know what I'm saying?
I actually want to meet a scientist, man. See their everyday life and what they do, what they go through, and all that.
What kind of scientists? All kind of scientists.
Yeah, I know. Like, there's a lot of scientists. I would say, what kind of scientist would I be interested in? Like a scientist who...
You got astrology that studies, space. You got marine biologists. You got biologists.
Medicine too, right?
Yeah, you got people, people to study, different shit, It's a wide variety of fucking scientists, chemists and biologists and astrologists and, paleontologists, anything with just in it,
And that's the gist of it.
That's the gist of it. But yeah, man, let me see what I want to talk about. The Natasha Hastings. You heard of Natasha Hastings?
Yo, that sounds very familiar, man.
Yeah, she's a world-class sprinter.
Oh, yeah.
Her main event is the 400 meters. She, I don't know if she currently, I don't know if she had the baby yet, or she currently still pregnant. But she actually married to, I don't know if they married or not, but the baby daddy is William Gay. You remember him?
William Gay.
Yeah. So she was talking about her plight with the whole pregnancy and trying to bounce back and all that. And I was reading that article, but then I was like, when I found out it was William Gay that was the baby daddy, I was like, William, that's like seemed like a random person to be with Natasha Hastings.
What you mean?
Because like she had a, I don't know, like it just seemed random. Like I mean, how they met is how they met. I'm just saying it just seemed random, like just a random player in the NFL. She's a track athlete, but a random player in the NFL. Like I was just weird about stuff. Like, how did y'all meet? Like, how did that happen? But then I just like went through his like stats and looking at his like Wikipedia and shit. So then I was reading like how his upcoming, his early years or whatnot, and it was saying how it was talking about his childhood and how his upbringing and all that, and how his mother, like, she was trying to get away from his abusive father, and she went over to a friend's house and whatnot, and so the father went over there, because she feared for her life and feared for her children's life, but she went over there, and I guess she had already said like, I'm leaving you and all that shit. So she went over there, and then he went over. He followed her over there and shot her 3 times, killed her. Then went to his car and then shot himself.
Wait, so you talking about William Gay's parents?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
And see, and the kids didn't know anything about the abuse or none of that. Nobody knew anything about the abuse. And that event. So all of that happened, and so I was like, "Damn, man, that's tough for him to be able to like endure that at an early age, and still go on to be who he is." It was like that had to take a lot of strength.
Yeah, that's a lot of strength, man. I'm assuming he has some great role models in his life to guide him through that, man.
Yeah, I ain't know that. Like, the fact that he's still able to smile in his pictures and just celebrate. Like, I can't imagine some shit like that happening, man. That's some crazy shit.
So do they have kids together? Him and Natasha Hastings?
Well, yeah, that's the child that she's carrying now is his child.
Facts. So she's pregnant now.
Yeah.
Word.
And she was saying how she's trying to bounce back to be in the World Championships for the next year's Tokyo. In Tokyo. I'm
about to be in Tokyo drunk, boy.
Oh yeah. Actually, this year it's coming up. Wait, no, she was talking about the Olympics in Tokyo, but the World Championships is this year. But she's not competing in the World Championship. She's gonna compete in the Olympics in Tokyo. So yeah.
Hey, but
Olympics.
Shout out to her though, coming from Brooklyn, New York, man.
Oh yeah, she's from Brooklyn. That's why I was like, because they not even from they wasn't born or raised in the same area. They didn't go to the same college. That's why I was like, that's just a weird pairing. Like, I mean, shout out to both of them, but it was just, I was just weird though. Like, just be wondering how certain people meet, and it was just weird. Like,
yeah.
That pairing.
I mean, we're all connected, so like everybody, like. I probably know somebody that knows 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 that.
The 6 degrees.
You said what?
Basically, the 6 degrees.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah, man.
Did you ever watch that show?
Nope.
I didn't either, but I watched like a couple episodes of it. It was okay, but
wait, what is the show, by the way? 6 degrees.
I think it came on ABC. It was like I know it's not still running now, but I know it was during the time when Grey's Anatomy was like super popping. Mm-hmm. Like during that time, like Lost, like during that time, that's when like that I know that for a fact that show was out then, because I used to watch that shit, Lost and Grey's Anatomy with my aunts and shit. So I used to see those commercials for that shit, 6 degrees. And then I watched a couple episodes, but it was just like, that's cool.
Yo, you know what I watched as a young boy? Son, I used to watch America's Next Top Model with my mom's, dog.
You a sick guy. You a sick.
Yo, that was so entertaining as a kid, man. She would watch that show. I'll be in there watching it with her. Like I was.
Was you old enough to be attracted to him, or like was it just like entertaining in a different sense?
Like both. Like I was attracted to them, especially. I think her name was Eva. Eva, I think. Eva, the baddest drum, man. If you type in Eva on Google Images.
Let me see. I mean, Eva what?
Damn, man, I gotta find her last name.
Eva on American Top Model.
Yeah, America's. Yeah, I think it's
Top Model.
I think it's Eva Eva Marcille.
Marcille?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Kevin Hart chick, ain't it?
No.
No, I think I seen her. Wait, hold on.
This man said Kevin Hart's chick.
No, I remember seeing her in that show with Kevin Hart, Nelly, and
yeah,
remember that show?
The Real Husbands of Hollywood or something like that.
I think that wasn't her.
She is not Kevin Hart's chick.
I'm saying in that show. I remember seeing her before. Let me see. Let me look at these. What she was in. Let's see. Any shows that I'm familiar with? Nope. Let me see. Born Again Version. Tyler Perry's House of Pain. Yeah, that's where I seen her at. And Everybody Hates Chris too. Okay. That's okay. Yep.
Like she's bad to the bone to this day, man. I got a crush on her.
Yeah, shout out to her. Getting into the pre-cougar years, 34 years old. But yeah, shout out to that.
Yeah, but that show was very entertaining, man. Like those were the glory days of reality TV. That Jersey Shore, MTV Cribs.
That kick started everything in the reality TV world. All those shows.
The Real World. I used to watch all of that shit, bro. But I feel like these days it just got out of hand, and I just stopped watching it, bro. It's just too.
I mean, nowadays it's scripted. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, it always been scripted, but it just felt like a little bit more authentic back then.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, it was something new. It seemed like it was. It seemed like it was actual reality. Yeah.
Yeah, but now it's like these young people now they're so influenced by these reality stars, and these stars they're just characters, man.
Yeah. Now that Real Housewives of Atlanta, that shit do be funny though. Those Real Housewives shows do be kind of funny. I don't be watching. I try not to get caught up in that shit, but that shit do be funny, bro.
Ain't nothing wrong with having a guilty pleasure, man.
There ain't no guilty pleasure. There ain't no guilty pleasure. It's just
don't act like you don't watch that shit on the low when nobody's watching.
I really don't. I don't even have a Netflix or anything. I just catch it when I catch it. I just do that shit.
This man said the Real Housewives of Atlanta be popping, but I don't watch it though.
Nah, I ain't said popping. I said be funny. It's different. Speaking of reality shows, making a hard transition. You hear about the motherfucking Magic shit? You see that interview on
Magic Johnson?
Yo, that Lakers is a real live reality show.
Yo, they're too. It's spiraling out of control. But I feel like it's gonna tighten up soon.
But it's like, I think a lot of experts have like on the radios and shit. They do make a good point. Like teams like the Lakers and Knicks, like they so reliant on the pedigree of their history. Like, but they got to keep up with the times, man, and that's just they just so reliant on their name. Oh, play for us. We're the Lakers. Come play for us because we're the Knicks.
Right.
We play in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah,
it's like you got to do the times. It don't matter now. You can play in fucking Milwaukee and be a star now. It don't matter. So it's like these teams are just kind of just characters on themselves, and they. It's like people seeing their true colors now, especially now that they suck, and and that was just the latest edition of why Lakers is just a dysfunctional organization.
Yeah,
like, even with what Magic was saying, he was contradicting himself. Because he was saying like in 3 years he was going to leave already, which this would have been his third year, and yet. He was saying how, he heard, what's the nigga name?
Something Linko, something. Rob Pelinka, yeah.
So he was saying like how he heard Rob Pelinka was talking shit behind his back, and it's like, so if you was already planning on leaving at this point, you already had said ahead of time you was only going to do 3 years, then why go through all of this? Why exit in that way? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See what I think when I'm looking at that whole interview, I'm like the everything that I grabbed from that interview was that Magic Johnson was being salty. Like he felt some type of way, and he probably should have addressed the situation to that front office a little bit better, but he didn't. I feel like he acted a little childish, and he, especially due to the way he stepped down from that position, And I just felt like he felt salty because he didn't feel like he had enough power in an organization. And then with that, he just did an immature move and resigned without telling LeBron or the owner or anybody like that. Like, he just felt salty in that situation.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like he wanted all this power, and yet he didn't want to do anything for it. So I think that kind of is in contrast to what he did when he was playing. When he was playing, he was the hardest worker. He always had to finish first. Like he made sure he did everything he needed to do. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like he built up a certain level of pedigree. You had your yuppies, your yes men in your life. You had people blowing smoke up your ass, and it got to a point where he at now, where he just expected everything to be handed to him.
Yeah,
you know, he was saying how he had all these other businesses and shit that he had to run, and they had an agreement that he wasn't going to be able to be there for all of the shit that it took for that position, and yet he wanted power. So it's like, how can you expect all that power and do none of the work?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, because you Magic Johnson? Like,
Yeah.
It don't work like that.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, I think he felt entitled to whatever he want, like, to do whatever he wanted to do. And since he didn't get whatever he wanted, then it just created a whole mess over there.
Yeah, that's just a whole shit show, man. And then they expect to try to attract more talent. It's laughable.
And look, the fact that he went on the show was like he added to the coonery of the Lakers show.
Exactly.
By joining that show and just giving inside information and saying Pelinka was backstabbing. Like, as a professional, you're not really supposed to be talking about nobody on air like that. Like, as a man.
Exactly.
But he went out of his way to do that.
And he called Jeannie Buss his sister and all that shit.
Yeah.
And that's really your sister and shit. Like, you look at her like that, then you want to handle it how you handled it. I mean, Jeannie Buss, she sucks because she always played both sides of the fence. But that's truly your sister, then you ain't supposed to air it out like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like, he said that there's, people can influence her to make decisions that she don't want to make, and I'm like, yo, this is inside information right here.
Yeah, he gave it up for real. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, he really felt the waves.
He's being petty.
Yeah, because he could have went on any like lower level. Like, he could have said it in a book or something. Like, he didn't even have to do it like that.
Yeah,
you know,
a book. A book would be much better.
Yeah, because then that's just giving his life and other shit. But he did this knowing that he was just going to get the most eyes as possible. And again, he's going to be the center of attention, and he was going to be able to create the narrative, and that's what he did.
Exactly. Going on there with Stephen A. Smith, loud ass, man.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, I feel like Stephen A. and them. I feel like a lot of those personalities. I feel like they don't really, like, when it comes to certain people, they don't really go at them when they on their show. Yeah. Like they just kind of make them comfortable to say it. They don't really they don't be on no kind of Charlemagne type shit. You know what I'm saying? And just be like, really put pressure to them. Like, they just be like, let them get their shit off, and then don't really challenge them, really. And I think that's corny.
I mean, I must say that Stephen A. was he was doing that, but he also added some spice in that conversation as well.
He added some spice, but we know how Stephen A. get down. You know how them niggas really be talking when nobody's there. when it's just him and the other nigga, they be spazzing. But then let Magic Johnson not be there, and Stephen A. would have been talking all kind of shit, yelling and spit come out of his mouth, all that shit, sweat coming off his forehead. He would have been going crazy. But because Magic was there, he toned it down.
Bro, when is Stephen A. gonna start relaxing from all of that? Like,
that would make him entertaining. That would make
I know.
That's what makes him money. But I mean, I think that's kind of a detriment to him because he is smart. He is a hard worker. He is smart. But I think he become a character of himself when he acts like that. And that's all people know him for. He's like that clown black dude on ESPN, and they don't look at him as that hard worker, smart, intelligent dude who has a lot of connects within that industry.
Yeah.
They just look at him as a loudmouth black dude on ESPN.
Yeah, he's a very intelligent dude, man. His articulation with words is very good.
Yeah, that's what I aspire to be. Like I said, I'm in this new area of media. I'm trying to get to that level, man.
Yeah, man. Don't be like Max Kellerman, man.
Oh nah, Max, he be saying some off the wall. What was that shit he was talking about? It was like a couple weeks back. He was saying, what was that?
Kawhi.
What was he saying?
He said Kawhi was more clutch than Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he said that. And he said something else crazy too. Yeah, that was it. No, yeah, that was it. Yeah, he didn't really have no facts to back that up. He didn't have no facts. But that was before I became a Kawhi fan. So it don't sound as crazy now. But it's still crazy because he was going off a small body of work in comparison to a whole career with Jordan. You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of going off of a couple playoff series. So yeah, it was crazy, a lot crazy then than it is now for me. But that was off the wall.
I feel like Max Kellerman is like,
he want to be Colin Cowherd so bad, but he's just not that.
Nah, like he wants to be himself, but I just feel like he's just like he's there, and like somebody better could be there. You know what I'm saying?
No, I say I'm not saying he tried to get everything from Colin, like as far as mannerism and how he displays. He has his own flow as far as his delivery. But as far as like how he has that, try to have that shock value, because you know how like Colin Cowherd was saying like how Zion still has that option to go back to college, and that's why he still ain't got an agent yet.
Yeah,
and all that shit. I think that's what Max Kellerman be trying to do, because that's what Colin Cowherd has been doing for the past, umpteen years. So I think that's what Kellerman tries to do, but he does such a poor job at executing it that it's like it just come off as you just trying to create controversy.
Yeah, he's just throwing things at the wall, seeing if anything sticks.
And the difference is, at least Colin has stats and like stuff to back it up. It's like Max, he literally, when he said it, had nothing to back it up. He didn't say anything to back it up. He didn't have any stats, and granted, like the people who was opposing him didn't have any, didn't push no stats either. But he just didn't have anything to back it up. And I think that's what separates him from a Colin Cowherd.
And, like, I've been thinking about it. Like, Colin Cowherd, his job is hard because he's talking to himself a lot of the time. And then,
that's honestly who, like one of the first people I was, like, as far as radio is concerned, like, I was listening to. Because he used to play. They used to have his shit syndicated on ESPN. Yeah. When he was like really just by himself and he was just talking. I'm like, this dude, because he would just be talking about all kind of random shit like that, had nothing to do with it. I'm like, he would be talking about taxes one minute, movies the next minute. I'm like, damn, this nigga just know everything. He could talk about all his vacations and shit. And I'm like, damn, like damn. like watching him, I was like, damn, I never could do nothing like that because like he just has like so much to say.
Yeah, I can never talk to myself like that. Like I can't. I tried doing it one time. I did a little test run, and I was like, man, this is a talent. This is a talent to talk to yourself.
Yeah. Stephen A. be doing that shit too. Cause he got his own radio show.
That is true. Like it's a talent, bro. It's a talent, bro. That radio world is a talent.
And then especially when you have like callers calling in, and then they hit you with random questions and shit, and you have to at least sound, not only know it, but like at least sound like you know what you're talking about.
See, that I can do, but all of that, like having a 10-minute monologue to yourself, I don't know how they do that shit, man.
Yeah, it's definitely a talent. Yeah, motherfucking. I was sitting here reading this shit about the Oakland Raiders because I don't know why I was even like looking at this shit. But I know why. Because I was looking. Because you know how like the niggas on YouTube be like playing fucking Madden and shit. And they just be talking when they playing the games and shit.
Yeah.
So I was watching a dude play Madden 19 and how the relocation and all that shit. And he was saying like how he didn't want to be like everybody else and do the Oakland Raiders to Vegas and shit. He wanted to do something different. So then I was like, so then I just randomly just looked up why Raiders is going to Vegas, and they were saying like how like they was supposed to ban relocate like since like 2010, but they just kind of postponed it, and the reason for them trying to move because they either had a like they pretty much either build a new stadium in that same location like strip down and just build a whole new, or just move somewhere completely different. So basically, they just kind of like gypsies. That's why like the Rams always fucking moving, seem like, and the Raiders always fucking moving. Or the Chargers, like the teams like that, they always fucking moving. They kind of like gypsies of the NFL. Like they can't really afford where they at, so they just kind of stay there for a few years. They kind of borrow off their homeboy and whatnot, and then they just kind of move somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like they just be bouncing around. That's why Oakland is in a situation they don't really want to go to Las Vegas, but they kind of forced to. And then they were saying like how like they would have to pay more than they expected going to Las Vegas, so they have an option to kind of opt out of that and go to Los Angeles, which would be crazy if Los Angeles have 3 fucking NFL teams. That'd be fucking ridiculous.
That'd be too much, man.
Why LA? You don't even think football, you think LA. Yeah,
that's true. Another thing I thought about that, like staying on that topic, whoever, moved, where were the Raiders like when they first started? Were they in Oakland or were they somewhere else?
They was in Los Angeles. Okay.
So yeah, even then I'm like, they got black jerseys and it's hot as shit out there.
Yeah.
Like, who in their right mind decided to make their jerseys black with all of that weather out there, that hot sun?
Yeah,
I know.
All that extra padding.
Sheesh. Especially back in the day, man.
Yeah, and then you had niggas like, you go across the middle, knock your fucking head off. Yeah, that was just crazy times in football, man. I don't know what they. But yeah, I don't know. That's why the NFL has changed, because niggas now they'll cry over anything. Back in the day, they went through it all, man.
They had every injury in the book back in the day.
They had a fucking 1 bar on their helmet. They had some of them had big shoulder pads, and then some of them had like no shoulder pads. But I mean, it's still like rules and all that shit. Like it was just crazy back then.
I still can't understand. I still can't understand how you can clothesline somebody in real time.
Yeah, I don't get that. Like, you would fucking shred a fucking bicep. I remember I fucking injured my bicep trying to tackle somebody. Caught myself tackling somebody in fucking middle school, trying to sack somebody. I fucking done there and split my fucking bicep open. These niggas sitting here clotheslining niggas. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yo, they was animals back then, son.
Yeah, that was a whole nother level.
Yo, they used to, like, the D linemen, they used to, I forget what the move was called, but they used to literally slap the lineman's helmet.
Yeah, they that's illegal now.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't do that anymore.
Like,
yeah, they just
like that
Deacon
nigga
Jones.
Deacon Jones. Yeah, Deacon Jones. Yo, son.
He was smack the shit out of niggas' helmets. Yeah, he was crazy.
Nah, that's one crazy guy, man. Even when he got old, he still talked the same. Like, yeah, I'll tear him up.
Speaking of fucking crazy, what about your boy Ezekiel?
Son,
What's going on with him?
Same thing, bro. All of these players, every time I hear a story about these players, bro, like especially running backs, they getting hit in the head every play. So all that head hitting, bro, he's going crazy. Like,
I think, did you see the video?
Nah, I didn't see the video, but I heard about it.
I mean, it wasn't as bad as what they blowing it up to be. Like, he basically just walked. You know how, like, you just, you know, you trying to, you step up to somebody and he just, you know what I'm saying? Like, how that, so basically he kind of backed the dude kind of into the fucking little metal, whatever those, you know how like at like the little clubs and shit they have outside the club to kind of separate the lines and shit. So he was like up on the dude like, "What's up, bro? What's up?" And then the dude kind of backed up into it and tripped over it. And he really pushed him. He just you know, like I said, when you step up to somebody and you like, "What's up, bro?" You know what I'm saying? You know, you breathe on a nigga neck, pause, and you just, you know what I'm saying, trying to act like the big tough guy. The dude backed up and then tripped over the fucking thing. And that's really what happened.
So I'm watching it right now. So like, what was this? Like a festival? Like what was going on?
Yeah, it was a festival. He was arguing with his girlfriend who was wearing his fucking stripper outfit, and I don't know what the argument was, but that I wouldn't be surprised that was a part of the reason. And yeah, so then I don't know why he started arguing with the fucking security guard, but then or stepped to the security guard, should I say? Because the security guard, he looked like he was just laughing at it, laughing, and then he just kind of tripped over the fucking thing, and it just made some loud noise. And then Ezekiel like, "Nigga, what?
How you trip?
Like, nigga, what are you doing?"
Yo, was he? I'm looking at it right now. Was he a little mixy, like drunk or something?
Yeah, that was my point. I think Ezekiel got a drinking a problem because every situation he in, he seems like he's intoxicated.
Yo, this guy he didn't want no problems.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Ezekiel didn't even really touch him, like as far as pushing him. Like he just stepped to him.
Yo, that's what you call a mean flop right there.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's a flop.
Yeah, he didn't do shit to him, but and of course media takes everything and run with it.
Yeah, you know what it is, bro? Ezekiel Elliott's black. That's what it is. If it was two white guys and that same incident happened, it would be like, Yeah,
because it ain't like he didn't put his hands on his girlfriend. They were just arguing like any couple would do, and then he just stepped to some random security guard, and the dude just tripped over the fucking little rail thing, and that was it.
Yeah, yo, why he got so much hair, man? He got to braid that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. He probably the girl probably like, "Oh, I like your little hair and all that." He probably just, "Oh yeah, I'm just growing that shit out."
Yeah, the only thing that I would take away from that incident is the fact that he was wearing a LeBron jersey. Just don't wear the greatest jersey doing some nut shit like that.
I mean, a grown man wearing a jersey, period, is questionable.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Especially like that. That's questionable.
Bro, what? Yo, this is a hot take right here. You're gonna have to explain that shit, man.
I mean, it's like that's like some. I mean, maybe they bringing it back. Maybe Ezekiel is bringing that shit back, but which is kind of weird because he's an athlete and wearing another athlete's.
How is that weird, bro? How is that weird?
Wearing another athlete's uniform?
It's like respect. It's like, yo, I respect your sport, bro. Like I can't do what you doing, and I respect you, and I'm gonna wear your jersey, bro.
Okay, even just scratching that, like niggas was rocking jerseys back in the early 2000s, and then Jay-Z said it wasn't cool, so niggas stopped. So now I'm guessing he's just bringing it back now. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe a grown man wearing a jersey is the new romper. Maybe that's what's going on right now.
Whoa, wait. So what makes it questionable?
I mean that's like wearing a jersey or having a grown man's name on your back that's something for kids. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something for kids. Like you got another name on your back. You got another grown man's name on your back. Like, that's what's going on,
bro.
You rocking his number. You rocking his name on your back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you literally he branded you basically. You know what I'm saying? Like you know how like you brand a calf, brand a cow.
Nah, I think it's just nah.
That's branded. Like you branded.
Nah, the branded that's permanent, man. The jersey is temporary.
It's still like you a temporary branded nigga.
Nah, man, too deep.
So you'll rock a jersey. Like it's one thing if you have like a customized jersey and you just put your name on it or some shit, but you just rocking a motherfucking whatever jersey you want, and it got another grown man on it. It's like really?
I mean, nobody gonna think too much of it. You know, you respect they play, you respect their game, and you're just trying to support.
No, like when I'm looking at it, I'm not thinking about it. I'm like, well, I did think about it, but I was like, oh, okay. I mean, that we're in a new age. Maybe they're trying to bring it back. But when you brought it up just now, I'm just like, it's weird. I'm not going to just let you just say it and then not put my 2 cents behind it.
And by the way, ain't nothing wrong with a male romper, man.
So you were rocking them joints. That's what I'm taking from this.
I am going to rock a male romper someday.
First off, you're 2 years too late.
Nope, I'm bringing it back.
You're going to bring... Okay. So you're going to rock another grown man's jersey, and you're going to wear a romper. Okay,
yep.
Cool.
Another grown man. Right. The outfit all together.
All right. So you're going to wear that motherfucking... What's y'all quarterback?
Carson Wentz.
Fucking quarterback? Carson Wentz. Yeah. As you rocking?
Yeah, there's another thing. I'm wearing the crop top t-shirts.
Okay, bro. All right, next topic. Next topic, bro.
Nah, but yeah, son. What I want to talk about is the freaking yo. So I see somewhere Peyton Manning. It's looking like he's going to be the GM for the Jets.
Yeah, I heard about that shit.
That's kind of odd. First of all, I didn't know that he would be a GM, front office type kind of guy, but you know it kind of fits him though. And for the Jets, I'm not sure why the Jets. What kind of connection he has over there?
Well, I mean, his brother played for the Giants. They play in the same stadium. And, you know, he got the New York connect. He got the Duke connect. He got the Tennessee connect. He got connects. I really can't see. Like you said, I can't see him in that GM aspect because I don't see him as like a scouting player. Like, I see him more as an analyst, like somebody who kind of breaks down the game.
Yeah,
I don't see him as somebody who's scouting talent necessarily. Yeah. But I mean, it's a weird. Yeah, so yeah, it is a weird fit, especially with the Jets of all teams. But I mean, I get it.
Maybe the Jets is throwing anything at the wall. Maybe maybe this is going to help them. I don't know, because just like how what was that quarterback's name for the Broncos? He became something for the Broncos when Tim Tebow.
Elway?
Yeah, John Elway.
Elway?
Yeah.
Come on, how you not remember his name?
Come
He's
on,
a great
man. Come on,
no, ain't no come on. Nigga, that's a great nigga. You better put some respect on that name.
Yeah, that's my bad. That's my bad.
Come on, shit. But what? Go ahead. What you were saying?
But yeah, maybe that's going to be the same situation because Elway he helped the Broncos out a lot, even when Tim Tebow was there.
But I mean, you could see, you could see why he would do it for the Broncos. I mean, he won them 2 Super Bowls. He was playing with them since he was drafted. He was drafted by them. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
The Jets, that's a weird, that's far left.
Yeah, it is far left, man. I don't know who he knows, but he got connected over there, and he's over there. I guess he got hired.
Yeah, and everybody was killing the Giants for selecting Daniel Jones, and I mean, I didn't see the issue because they were saying how Daniel Jones, who is a former Duke quarterback, and like I said, Peyton Manning and the Manning family has a connect with Duke, so I just didn't see what was the big deal behind it, because obviously, I'm sure you're aware of the comments Flacco made. I'm not going to groom the next quarterback. So clearly, the quarterback leaving doesn't necessarily have to groom the next up and coming quarterback. They gotta want to do it. So why wouldn't you pick somebody who Eli Manning not only would be willing to do it or has already been doing it for years prior to that? Why wouldn't you want to bring somebody in like that? You know what I'm saying? That your Hall of Fame quarterback will be willing to groom. You know what I'm saying? Because he's already been doing it anyway.
Yeah.
So I didn't see why everybody was killing the Giants for that pick.
I mean, they was basically killing them because what's the other quarterback that got drafted to the Redskins? The black guy.
Oh, the nigga that had
Dwayne Haskins.
Wanted the fucking Dwayne Haskins. He wanted the fucking Joe Theismann number.
Yeah,
which was a whole.
People felt like Dwayne Haskins was a better quarterback, which is why they gave him a lot of heat. Picking a guy from Duke that don't really have the highlights that Dwayne Haskins has.
But my thing is, I get that, but both Dwayne Haskins and Murray played only 1 year prior to getting drafted in college. They only have 1 year of experience in college. So even regardless of how talented they are, they're not as experienced in the college game as Daniel Jones. Not saying that Daniel Jones is better, but it ain't like they've been playing for all 3 years and they were just putting up huge numbers each year or some shit. Like they came in 1 year and they started that 1 year and put up big numbers and boom, here you go. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like longevity versus longevity. It's 1 year versus 3 years. I don't know how many years Jones was starting, but I mean I would imagine it was probably longer than a year. Let me look at this nigga's stats right quick.
Yeah. Look them stats up, man. NCCU probably picked them off 5 times in the game.
Nah. I football team, man. Have you even been keeping up with NCCU football?
Nah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't been keeping up with anything, bro, as far as NCCU sports, except for.
Yeah, he started his redshirt freshman year, his sophomore year, and junior year. So he's been in the Duke system for 4 years.
Word.
And he started 3 seasons. Played 12 games for his redshirt freshman year. Then 13 games the next year, and then actually the least amount of games this past year. So he has experience under his belt in regards to like that next level talent.
Where I mean, we'll wait and see, man. I'm not too worried about it. This draft wasn't even too exciting anyway. You know, it was all about Kyler Murray and then some solid defensive players and just solid linemen as well.
Yeah, I was reading about this because on ESPN, you know how ESPN give me these alerts and shit. So I was reading about this player in baseball. They were saying like how he's like 19 coming out of high school. You know how baseball they still draft straight out of high school like how NBA used to do. And so yeah, they was only going to offer him. I believe it was $4 million coming out of high school, which is great. You know, for just a regular person. But, you know, to him, I mean, they pretty much lowballed him. And I think they were going to draft him, or drafted him number 8 overall. Yeah, because it was during the negotiation. You know how you draft a player and then you do the negotiations? Yeah. So when they were negotiating, he was drafted number 8 overall. And when they were negotiating, they kind of lowballed him, or at least that's what he felt like. So instead of accepting it, he ended up going to the Japanese league, and they offered him 6 years and $1 million each year, and that was the better deal than what he got offered to play, you know, in the major leagues here. So I think and then they put in perspective like he was 8th overall pick. Murray was the 9th overall pick, and you know Murray was a two-way player. He played baseball and football, and you know obviously he went with football. So they were saying like how that like you know these incidents is trouble for baseball, and I was thinking about it like I think baseball been on a downspin for the past like 20 plus years. So I think this just kind of just adds to it. But I think bigger picture, I think this is a problem for all sports, honestly, because you know now these players more than ever have more power in their hands than ever before. Oh yeah, you know, like with the LeVar Ball, the whole LeVar Ball creating his own league to you know get kids coming straight out of high school to get paid and you know develop. You know what I'm saying? And then situations like that, you know, or the situation with like Murray, you know, opting not to go to baseball and choosing football and end up getting a bigger pay. I think, you know, and then even with what's going on with the NBA now, with Zion Williamson or even Durant choosing where he want to go, or LeBron choosing where they want to go. You know what I'm saying? I think we're in a new day and age where players more than ever have full control over what they do as opposed to the owners, you know what I'm saying, or coaches.
Yeah, because
it'll be a put. All right, go ahead.
I was just saying, like, players are starting to realize their true power. Like, it's all about the players. Like, that's what the people are coming to the stands for. They're not coming to the stands for the owners. And the owners is like, damn, the players are starting to get their power. So, like...
Yeah, I think that's going to be the push for the NCAA to eventually pay the players. It should have happened eons ago, but you know, for whatever reason, they try to make it it's an amateur sport, and yada yada yada. Meanwhile, you have XYZ coach at Alabama or Clemson or Michigan or whoever for these big colleges getting paid millions. And they scouting the players that's making jack shit, who comes from jack shit, and they just feeding off of those players.
Yeah, yeah, it's ridiculous, bro. But I still like what I'm still trying to figure out like how like a stipend every month, or should they get paid like a?
They get a stipend now, but it's still shit. It's still like bullshit.
Yeah.
But think about it, because when these teams win these championships, and when like they were like I'll be listening to the ESPN radio, and the dude on there, Jerry V, he kind of highlights this, and he kind of broke down like each conference, like what their earnings is for that particular year. Like the SEC, how much that conference made and how it's going to be divided amongst that, X amount of teams. Because, like Big 12 got 12 teams, or the ACC got maybe 10 or, 11 or whatever, and Big 10 got 10 teams. So the conference themselves make a certain amount of earnings, like say if it's like 50 million, and then it's divided amongst the teams within that conference. So then, this school just made 11 million. And so where is that money going to? It's not going directly to the athletes. It's going somewhere, but it's not going directly to them. So it's like, and it might be more than that. I'm just throwing out a figure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But these colleges are making a lot of, these big colleges especially is making a lot of money, and it's getting divided amongst that college, and it's not trickling down to the players. And that's the problem. That's a problem.
Yeah,
like, it shouldn't be hard to figure it out.
Yeah, it's a huge problem, especially due to the fact that if these players get injured, then their scholarships get taken away. So if their scholarship, is that true? Like their scholarships get taken away if they get injured?
Yeah, because it's like your scholarship is up for negotiation.
Wow.
At the end of the season. So if you're not contributing up to what y'all agreed on, or what, and it depends on the circumstance, they can renegotiate your scholarship if you're not living up to the up to par.
Yo, it's wow. That's just slavery, man. It's just slavery.
Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, even if they don't want to, and this is what I was thinking, like even if they don't want to pay the players directly, NCAA, if they don't want to pay them directly, then just allow the players to be able to benefit off of their name, whether it's signing autographs or selling jerseys or taking pictures or whatever. Allow them to make money off of their name and make their own hustle. As you don't even have to worry about paying them, because at the end of the day, and you're teaching them the real world. Like the players who sit on the bench, who's not going to be able to sign an autograph to get paid, and maybe even them, they might be able to get some money. You know what I'm saying? You never know. But the players who's going to be making the most money, obviously, is going to be the Reggie Bushes of the world. You know what I'm saying? Your Vince Youngs of the world.
Okay, so So you feel like, okay, the stars of the college team should get paid more than, like based on their talent, based on their influence on the team, their usage rating, you feel like those players should get paid a little bit more than the players who are starters, but not necessarily the talented.
I feel like I feel like it should be an open market. I feel like the NCAA shouldn't be in control of who gets what. I feel like it should be dependent on what. I feel like it depending on what that player decides to do with the likeness of their name. So, say if Zion Williamson want to go out and take pictures and sign autographs and be on movies, be on commercials and shit like that. If he's just so happen to make more than that 11 man on the bench, I mean, so be it. It's not in NCAA hands. It's in the hands of the players.
Well, yeah, as far as sponsors, yeah, but I feel like the money coming from the school, I feel like every player on the team should get paid the same.
Well, yeah. That, I mean, yeah, I feel like they like as far as what is in control of NCAA, I feel like they should still do the stipend and pay, each player evenly, because they're making a lot of money, like I said, and it's not really trickling down. They can sit here and say, oh, the scholarships. Like, first of all, that one and done shit that the NCAA basketball do, you're not. I mean, what student is learning all they need to learn in 1 year of college?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's a joke in itself. So yeah, I mean they should be compensating these players for what they're bringing into the school evenly.
How much do you think the walk-ons should get paid?
Walk-ons, I mean, if they make the team and they're contributing to the practice, they're contributing to, whatever, they're contributing to the team in some way. It may not be necessarily on the field on game day, but they're contributing in some kind of way. I think they should be able to get even pay, because at the end of the day, I mean, you can attest to this. Those walk-ons sometimes be the punching bag. You know what I'm saying? The punch dummies. So, you know what I'm saying? They should be able to get compensated for being the punch dummy too. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a job.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
It is. And that was kind of fun though. Because there was, you had to prove yourself, but like eyes were not always on you, so you had the flexibility to, wild out sometimes and just, play a little reckless. So, like if you're a starter, then there's a lot of things you got to remember and a lot of things you got to watch out for and be aware of. But when you're a walk-on, you're just out there just trying to make the team, man. And you don't have a leash on you as much as the starters do.
Exactly. So I think, like you said, it should be evenly spread out when it comes to each team paying their players. But I think they should take it a step further and allow players to also benefit off their likeness, off their name as well. And if they just so happen to make more than, like I said, the bench warmer, then hey, so be it. That's the real world. Get over it. That's what happens.
Yeah.
So that's my.
So my fault. Yeah. That's the NCAA. So all right. So the Warriors, they're going to the finals again, right?
Yeah.
And the Bucks and the Raptors still got 2 to 3 games left.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like the Raptors will advance, or do you feel like the Bucks will advance?
I feel like that's tough, because I don't know. I really don't know how the Bucks really. I don't know their mentality of their team. I don't know what they're capable of doing when the heat is on. I know what Kawhi is capable of doing when the heat is on. I don't know what the Bucks, with their stars, with their bench, I don't know what they're capable of. And, so with that being said, I have the Raptors moving on if I was to choose.
Okay. Game 6, Game 7?
I think it could go to Game 7. I give Bucks that much respect. But I think because Kawhi is that element where not only he's supremely talented, but he's also been here before and been to the next level and won that and MVP as well in the finals. So I think all of that being said, I think Raptors have a better chance at this point, especially coming off of that ass whooping they lashed out. It was nuts. What
I will say is this: I feel like these two teams, the Bucks and the Raptors, are pretty even. They're pretty even. But I also feel like that the Bucks just have more in their arsenal. I just feel like they have more of a mismatch problem for the Warriors. If I had to choose one of those two teams to, try to win against the Warriors in the finals, it would have to be the Bucks. Because they have some mismatch problems with Brook Lopez shooting threes, a center shooting three. What center they got over there that can run around and chase Brook Lopez over there in the Warriors? Bogut? Probably Draymond Green, but that would be a mismatch for the Warriors. It'll be a little nick in their armor. And also the Greek Freak, like Draymond can defend, Klay Thompson can defend, but at the end of the day, the Greek Freak is a 7-footer that can literally just extend his arm out and dunk from the free throw line. So that's going to be a problem for them. But when you look at the Raptors, there's Kawhi and the Kawhi bunch. Kawhi and the bunch.
I mean, that's how it is with Greek. Giannis. It's him and the Bucks bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you have Middleton and Bledsoe who are really good players, but they're not big names. They're not superstars. That's
true. I just feel like those role players is better role players than the Raptors role players. Let me see.
Well, they ain't show it in last game, and if we're talking who has a better shot, I mean they both equally have the shot against Golden State. If we talking about who's going to advance in the series, then I have Raptors. I mean, Golden State, they just can kill you from just every which angle. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it ain't Curry shooting it, then it's Thompson shooting it. If it ain't Thompson shooting it, it's Green. You ain't even got to Durant. You don't even need Durant. A lot of people saying, oh, they need Durant and just that. Yeah, he's a key element. I mean, when he come back, he can be a key element. He can be a part of it. But they don't need Durant. As they shown, they don't need him. He's a luxury piece. He's that nice watch you got. It don't even like I'm the type of nigga that buy a watch and don't even tell the time. Like it's like it could be stuck in the same place, but it's just there. It looks nice. That's what Durant is. He's just a nice looking watch that don't even work. That's all he is.
Yeah, these past few games made me realize that the most valuable piece on that Warriors team is Steph Curry, bro. It's not KD. KD is a phenomenal player. He's going to go to the Hall of Fame. He's a legend. He's probably going to be the points leader when it's all said and done. But the most valuable player to that Warriors team, it has to be Steph Curry, man.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree. And that's why this whole how you feel about the KD move to begin with? How you feel about? Do you feel like that tarnished his legacy, or do you feel like it enhanced it or did nothing for it? Like, how you feel about the move to Golden State to begin with?
So at the time, I was like, yo, this guy, he's weak. At the time when he did it, I was like, yo, he's weak. But then, over time, time passed on, and I'm like, maybe this guy knows something that I don't. Maybe he's thinking ahead of time. Maybe...
You're one of them.
Yeah, I'm one of them. Maybe he's just thinking outside of the box. Maybe he's a pioneer. Maybe players in the future are going to start doing this shit and stacking up their rings. So I started looking at it that way, and I'm like, I can deal with it. I can deal with it.
I mean, if you want to go, LeBron's started that trend.
Nah.
Not LeBron. It was Kevin Garnett and them. They started that trend. LeBron, continued it, and KD did a worse version of it. And what I mean is, KD went. LeBron, because even though I hate the term chemistry, but it's a very necessary term. It means a lot. And what LeBron did, he went to D Wade's team in the Heat, who the prior year, I don't even think they even made it a 500. Like they ain't win like half their games. So it was you just putting LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh together. Anybody knows just you putting talent together doesn't mean shit's just going to automatically happen. You have to formulate chemistry. You have to figure out what's going to go where, as we see with Boston currently. So just putting motherfuckers together don't always work. Like, you have to form a chemistry. You have to form a bond. So it was a proven thing until they proved it. Durant went to a team that already had the best record in the NBA history the year before,
right,
and then won the finals the year before that.
Right.
So he went to a proven commodity and just added his talents to it. He was a front runner. He didn't build anything from scratch. He was a front runner. And back to LeBron, he also had a rookie coach at the time, in Eric Spoelstra, who had no experience. He was a fucking scout boy or water boy, whatever the fuck he was before he became a coach. And then, I mean, yeah, of course you had Pat Riley in the GM spot, but he's not the coach. So it's different. So, and they made a point like how LeBron has never really been given a great coach. And, I mean, that's kind of true. Eric Spoelstra has proven to be a great coach over the years, post LeBron and all that. But during that time, he wasn't. He was just a baby. So
yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's different. It's different between the Durant move and a LeBron move, or the Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce move. It's different.
Yeah, and yo, that's so important for people to know. The fact that LeBron really didn't have a great coach like Kobe did, like Michael Jordan did, like the Bad Boy Pistons did. Like if he would have had a coach like those great legends that I just named, yo, he would have had as many rings as Bill Russell, to be honest.
Well, I don't know about that.
I'm telling you right now. He went to what, eight finals?
No, Bill Russell won 10.
I know he
finals.
won 10, but LeBron he went to 8 finals, right?
Oh yeah, he went to 8 finals. Yeah.
So imagine those 8 finals with a great coach like Popovich. Or some even Steve Kerr is solidifying his legacy with the Warriors. Like there's something about having that coach that sticks with you.
I'm not gonna say he would have won all 8, but he would have won 6 at least.
Nah, he would have won all 8, bro.
I ain't gonna say all that, but he would have won 6, which is great because that would have doubled what he already have. I mean, it's not no Bill Russell, but at the end of the day, it's feasible.
Every time I hear the word double, bro, I just think of a double cheeseburger at McDonald's, man. That's bad news.
You fat. But what I'm saying is we can't hold LeBron to the Bill Russell standard, because think about the era Bill Russell played in. He was playing against accountants. He was playing against school teachers. Yeah. At the time, like he was playing, he was the most athletic motherfucker, and he barely could dunk at 6'9". Like it was different back then.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like he would have been. Like that's kind of why I don't really put Bill Russell up there. Like he is up there, but he's not at the same time, if you will. Like the start of greatness would be in the 80s. I mean, that's why it's not fair to compare eras. That's why they always say, like, different experts say it's not. That's why it's not fair to compare a LeBron to a Jordan, or a Jordan to a Bill Russell, or Wilt Chamberlain to a Giannis, or whoever. It's like it's not fair to compare these different eras, because you can't really formulate that. You know what I'm saying? Unless you could, in analytical terms, like you could take, each player from each era and calculate their stat. That's just doing too damn much. You know what I'm saying? It's like what are you really proving? Proving that back then basketball wasn't that important. Now basketball is pretty damn important. So players, of course, is going to play a lot more now. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, you can't really formulate that kind of shit. It don't really matter. Like, and that's why when LeBron, and this go back to my point what I was making, like, in our earlier episodes, and what
Well, of course, LeBron going to compare himself to Jordan because that was his favorite player, and he was a young boy. He didn't know no better. Now looking back on it, he probably like, why the fuck did I ever compare myself to LeBron James? I mean, to Michael Jordan. Why the fuck I ever do that? Like, it was stupid because I put all this weight on my back, and we have two totally different playing styles. Why would I even do that? And now people are doing the same thing that LeBron did to himself in regards to Jordan. People was doing that with Zion to LeBron.
Yeah, I'm one of those people.
and that segues me to my hot take, or my new hot take on Zion, or my new outlook on Zion. I say that.
I'm ready for this one.
Well, it probably is a hot take at this point because people is blowing so much fire up his ass that goddamn, like it's ridiculous. But I said I would like to start out by saying, first and foremost, like I give him all the praises. He's great, a humble player, and I love to root for people who is humble, who's not so full of themselves. Somebody who's raised right. He's a good player. He's a good guy. He's a genuine, seems like a genuine good guy. So I like to say that. So if it sounds like I'm hating, it's not. It's just me just trying to be as objective as possible. Like, he's a great player. I'm rooting for him wholeheartedly. There's certain players that I'm not rooting for, like your boy, D'Angelo Russell. I'm not rooting for him, to be honest. He just got arrogant ass, and I'm not really rooting for him. But Zion, I'm truly rooting for him. He's a good guy. Just, I don't know him, but he seemed like a good guy.
Yo, I'm trying to hear this hot take.
I'm trying to really do the build up thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get them warmed up to it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I was thinking when I said it was one of the earlier episodes when I said, yeah, I still think he was going to be a Hall of Famer, and it just didn't sit well with. It just didn't feel right saying it. I felt like I was jumping the gun when I said it. I felt like I was like, because I really didn't watch a lot of the games. I didn't really watch college basketball like that, and I didn't really watch his games. I watched some of his highlights, but I mean, it's highlights, so of course you're gonna get all of his best shit. And it was just like when I really like analyzed, what actually happened in the March Madness and tournament, and then analyze and then the highlights and the stats and what experts are saying. It was just like, could we just really be could we be at the peak of hypeness when it comes to social media? Is it really because imagine Vince Carter in this era, and I feel like that's what Zion Williamson is in this era. He's just a 285-pound Vince Carter. Because Vince Carter could shoot. He couldn't shoot earlier in his career. He developed a jump shot, and he was a great he turned out to be a really good 3-point shooter as well as a really good dunker. Yeah. So I think we have to pump the brakes. I think he's gonna be a really good player, but Hall of Famer or greatest player, I think we're jumping the gun on that.
Yeah, you know what? That's not too far fetched, man. If social media was out with Vince Carter, bro, like he would be blown out of proportion more than what he was. Like I get what you're coming from that. I get what you're coming from. But the thing that sticks out about Zion is that he's a unicorn. Vince Carter was not he could jump out the gym. He could dunk, but it wasn't necessarily a unicorn. A unicorn is a player that, like a Kevin Durant or a Giannis, like these guys are unicorns that can do wild shit and at wild heights or weights that they're not even supposed to be doing.
Okay, so then, boom. With that, okay, then I would say Allen Iverson then. Because think about it. Allen Iverson was 5'11", 6 feet. He was a regular height guy, dominating
what was supposed to be a big man's game, a 7-footer game.
Right.
And he was dominating at an average height for a human.
I mean,
so
yeah.
he was a unicorn technically.
Yeah, I would say he would be a unicorn because, nobody at that size was doing, had that much.
He averaged 30 points for like 3 straight years.
Yeah. Nobody at this size was doing that. Nobody at that size was doing that.
Michael Vick was a unicorn. He was faster than wide receivers and DBs at the quarterback position.
Yep, definitely a unicorn. Yep.
So, I mean, it's just, I think Zion just fits right into that. Mind you, these are really good players to great players.
Right.
These ain't just some, overhyped and then they just became bums. No, they lived up to it. So, I mean, they just didn't. Well, I mean, Allen Iverson became a Hall of Famer, but Michael Vick didn't become a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
Vince Carter, the only reason he's going to become a Hall of Famer because he's been in the league for over 20 years. But if he would have retired in his 12th year, he wouldn't have been a Hall of Famer.
Nope.
So yes, I mean, I think Zion fit until he proves otherwise. He fits in that category of coming out of college at the hype he is.
Yeah, I would agree to that. Social media definitely puts a magnifying glass on a lot of people in the spotlight these days.
Yeah, cause let niggas tell it shit. LaMelo Ball is the greatest fucking thing smoking in 2 years. Let niggas tell it, but in another year it's gonna be like LaMelo who? Because I mean, with the whole the ball, they fucking shoe shit. That whole, you heard about that shit? The fucking dude was stealing. I think it was the agent or some shit. He was stealing from.
Yeah. The Big Baller Brand.
Yeah, the Big Baller Brand. That whole shit folded because of that shit. And I mean, I think the league is still going, but I mean, apparently they wasn't even paying their players like they were supposed to, and so I don't know how long that shit gonna last, but for some reason I feel like Lonzo Ball is gonna be a pretty decent player in this league, man. I don't think he's gonna be a bust. I think he's gonna be a good player. He just reminds me of a Jason Kidd, only when he gets from under LeBron, well, away from the Lakers, period. I think that's when he'll be able to do it.
Okay.
I think, I was thinking about that shit today. Like cities like LA, Miami, like cities like that, that's like, the fun, to have all the activity in the world, fun, hot, all that shit. I think that ultimately become a distraction for players.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that's the ideal environment if you're trying to be a championship team. Like you need to go to a place like a Green Bay or a fucking Wisconsin or Seattle where there ain't shit to do but the ball.
Yeah, that's how Giannis was on the come up, man. He was in Milwaukee.
Yeah, all you got is the library and the court. Like you got to pick. You gonna read a book or you gonna play ball? Like that's all you got.
Yo, I want to go to Milwaukee to see how they over there, how their food is, how their people are. I want to see what's up with it.
They probably make some good ass deer.
Yeah, some
good ass deer meat.
What is it called? Stork. It's called something.
Ain't no damn stork, nigga.
It's called something, man.
Elk? You talking about elk?
Elk. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm gonna try that one day.
Yeah, I want to try lamb. There's a lot of these like African places and like in Middle Eastern places that be selling lamb, and I be seeing that shit, and I'm like, damn, how does lamb taste?
It tastes good, bro.
You tried that shit?
Nah, I didn't really.
What the fuck? How the fuck you gonna answer me?
Cause
It tastes good.
because
But
my
I ain't really tried, though.
brother had it, and I trust his judgment, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you get the picture I sent you?
because like if you go to Philly, you can get some lamb and rice from the food trucks, and
I'm not going to Philly for no lamb, bro.
Come on, man, you got to go to Philly for that lamb, man, lamb and rice.
Hey, I'm getting Philly cheesesteak. That's it.
And you leaving, right? Yeah, just leave after you get that Philly cheesesteak, dog.
Yeah, I just drive to the fucking. What y'all do? Do y'all do the motherfucking little they call it the little trucks, food trucks up there? Or they y'all still have the fucking brick and mortar shit?
It's in Philly, yeah.
I'm saying you up there. You supposed to be visiting like on a regular. Is that what's going on in the Northeast, bro? What's going on? You supposed to be the spokesman for all Northeast.
Wait, you talking about in my area or like what do you? I don't even get
everything Northeast, bro. Whether it's Philly, New England,
fucking
bro. Jersey,
food trucks is only in the cities, man. Philly, New York, I gotta look up a map, but it's only in the city areas. No suburbs. Ain't no burbs.
Okay. That's what I was asking. I was asking, do y'all do food trucks up there? We got food trucks down here. Lit.
Nigga, we told y'all what a food truck's supposed to be like, so we started that shit up here.
Did you get my picture I sent you?
Nah.
Look at the picture, nigga.
Alright, let me see.
Tell me y'all started the food trucks. Y'all started every fucking thing. Y'all take credit for everything.
I mean, yeah.
Why? Why? You see the picture? You see it, right?
Kendrick Perkins, man.
Like, look how uncomfortable he is in this picture. You see it? Like, just something, like, I feel him on this. That's how I be looking at a lot of family pictures.
Yo, he was struggling with that smirk. He had a hard time.
That shit is funny as fuck. I'm like, yo, I feel you, bro. I be like that in a lot of my pictures. I'm like, damn, I be struggling.
Yo, son, he was struggling in that shit.
Oh, man. You be seeing him talk on like ESPN and shit.
Yeah, sometimes.
He's like he kind of like kind of like hood nigga trying to get right. Like he trying to get out of that life. He just trying to be corporate now. Ain't trying to deal with no bullshit.
Hey,
like that's how he be talking.
Before we close out though, I just want to shout out to the gyms, man. They got it made. I went to the gym and they got a TV screen on the treadmill. They also have a theater room with treadmills in it, and they have showings, like movie showings in there, and they have TVs all around, and I'm like, yo, this is too crazy. Like they people working out, but they also watching TV at the same time. And another thing, they show commercials of fast food on these TVs. So people look at these commercials, they're gonna be like, damn, I want that shit. So it's just a forever cycle, just keeping people in the gym, and that's just a lucrative business right there. I just want to shout them out for that.
I mean, Planet Fitness, they freaking give free pizza on Mondays, first Monday of every month, and free bagels every first Tuesday every month.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Free?
Yeah. Whatever the local popping pizza place is in that area, they order from there, and they give it for free throughout the whole lunch period.
Yo, I may need to switch over to Planet Fitness then. Yeah,
they be on some shit. Yeah. I mean, that's how. I mean, that's like you said. That's how they keep them in the gym. That's their marketing ploy.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do, man. They do that shit on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got a shout out, G?
Let me see. Let me see what my shout outs is going to be. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Jawan Howard. He got the Michigan job.
Okay.
Remember Jawan? He was part of the Fab
Five.
Yeah, got a 5-year deal. The starting salary is $200 million a year.
Money.
So he was a former Heat assistant coach. So shout out to him. Let me see. Let me give you some shout out to the golfer chick that was trying to support her man and got swerved every time. You know, she was a real ride or die, and that nigga was bugging. So yeah, shout out to her. let me see if I can pull up her name. Let me see. Brooks Kupka.
Okay.
Yeah, Brooks Kupka. Is that her name?
Yeah. I don't know.
No, that was the dude. Oh no, that was the golfer name. He was the star golfer that won the major, and it was his girlfriend that kept trying to give him a kiss, and he just blew her off because it was the heat of the competition. So shout out to her for being a ride or die and still trying to, you know, show that public affection. Let's see.
I like public affection, man. I like when my girl gives me public affection.
I'm uncomfortable with public affection. I'm not public affection guy. And then shout out to the Texas A&M 400-meter runner. It was a couple weeks back in the SEC championship.
True shit.
He dived at the finish line to win the 400-meter hurdles.
That's hard. That's hard.
Yeah, that was a wild play. That was a wild thing. But yeah, so that wraps up my shout outs. Yeah.
Yo, one last question. What makes people uncomfortable with public affection?
I don't know. It's just stuff like that. Well, for me personally, stuff like that, I just rather just kind of be on a low key about. Right. You know, it's just like, it just seems like you're just doing too much. Like y'all getting in y'all bag, trying to kiss and cuddle. It's just like, just get a room or just go to a corner somewhere. I don't want to see that. You just make people uncomfortable. It's like, like.
All right, what about walking down the street and holding hands?
No, yeah, that is cool. I'm saying like as far as like going as far as kissing and, you know, doing all that extreme cuddling type shit, like it's like stuff like that. Like holding hands, that's regular, that's normal. Just saying like really getting into it, like y'all damn near about to make love in front of everybody. Type shit.
I feel that. That's fair. Yeah, like making love. Like, yeah, save that for behind closed doors. Yeah. I mean, when the people like really be getting into it on the twerk sessions in the club, it's like, I just get to that corner and y'all do what y'all gotta do. That'd be the best, man. When you bring your chick to a party, bro, and it's just y'all two dancing drunk as shit. And y'all having a ball, man. Y'all having a blast over there, man. You're not even worried about nobody else.
Niggas be going up in a club, just grabbing a random broad and just making love and just having the whole fucking night.
Yo, when the last time abroad? Yo, that's in the 90s, man. We in 2019.
What we saying nowadays? What we saying now?
John.
What we calling them? Johns? Yeah. Get around the John and just hold them hostage the whole fucking night. Those type of niggas.
This nigga like, This nigga using that freaknik lingo. Shit crazy.
Hey man. Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, man. Let's close this episode out. It was a good one, man. We talked about a lot of sports and whatnot, and a little bit of other things. I just follow the page on Instagram, everybody. The Burg Bros Podcast. You can also follow me on Instagram. That's the Crooklyn Third. That's all social media sites as well. YouTube. Just keep watching the YouTube page. We're coming out every week. Every week Thursday we drop an episode. So what you got for me, G?
Yeah, just follow me, Petty G the Don on IG. I'm not really lit, so don't expect much on there. Yeah, y'all just leave comments below with our videos. Really engage in our conversation. We really promote, engagement. We definitely comment back, and feel free to do it also on IG page.
Oh yeah,
as well. We really want to get, whether it's negative feedback, positive feedback, and whoever the fuck be that one person always hitting the goddamn dislike button.
Hell
fuck
yeah.
You.
I'm like,
just
who?
Fucking comment.
Who is that?
I don't know, but stop being a coward and fucking show yourself. Comment, nigga. Comment.
Gotta be a secret lover who had a bad experience with one of us back in the day.
Well, I laid it down, so I don't know what you got.
Yeah, we're gonna close it right on that note. We're gonna close it there. I just want to thank you guys for listening, and stay tuned for more episodes. This is the Burg Bros Podcast.